Okay, let's recall the meeting to order, please.
Mrs. Mock.
Here.
Mr. Markham.
Here.
Mr. Porter.
Here.
Mr. Sherwood.
Here.
Mrs. Smrek.
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Porter, if you would, please.
Vision and mission statements of the Austintown schools. The Austintown Local School District is a united community with a proud legacy and a progressive approach to education. We provide an inspiring education that strengthens and prepares our students for unlimited future opportunities.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the regular agenda and add item 14.
So moved.
Second.
Please take a vote.
Mr. Markham.
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek.
Yes.
Mr. Porter.
Yes.
Mrs. Mock. Mr. Sherwood.
Yes. If anybody here doesn't have item 14, we could arrange that if need be copies. Thank you. Item 5, upon the recommendation of the treasurer, approve the agenda for the May 25th, 2023 Board of Education regular session.
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Smrek.
Yes.
Mr. Markham.
Yes.
Mrs. Mock. Mr. Porter. Mr. Sherwood.
Yes. Item 6, nobody signed up for public comments, so we will move on to building reports. And we'll start with Fitch High School and Sal Majorana.
All right, good evening, everyone. We're wrapping up the year at Fitch. We had a very successful commencement, so I'd like to take this time to just recognize all of our graduates and highlight all of their successes. We had 351 students graduate, 13 of which were our valedictorians, 70 honors diplomas, 73 NHS members. We had 57 students take AP courses, 90 students receive college credit through CCP. We had over 100,000 local scholarships received, about $1 million in other scholarships accepted, 1 STEM diploma, 5 military, and then we had 15 students go into an apprenticeship. So our students worked really hard, and just take this time to recognize them. Other than that, we're wrapping up and excited to start the next year. Thank you.
Thank you. The AMS update, Mrs. Vickers.
Good evening, everyone. Today we had our final fun day at AMS. We had 3 of them. So our PTA has been absolutely amazing. It's got to be one of the best PTAs I've ever worked with. So we had a fun day for 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade this year. Our PTA also brought back something very near and dear to my heart, which was Career Day. So they brought in multiple members of our community to talk about their careers. It was a great learning experience for our students. I know how much work it was, so they did an amazing job. And sports-wise, our AMS boys track team won the Mahoning County Division I championship, so congrats to them and their coach. And that's pretty much it. We're wrapping up the school year. Tomorrow is our last half day.
Thank you. And Mr. Papagallo will give us an update on the intermediate school.
So we also finish up Fun Day today. Shout out to Mother Nature. The weather has been beautiful the last 3 days. And it was a really good time. And our PTA, once again, they're just an amazing group of ladies and gentlemen. And they'll do anything for our children, which is really great. 5th grade recently went to Camp Fitch. They had an amazing time. The weather was great. Lots of fish caught. Spotted some bald eagles, and we even saw some baby pigs during our trip. So it's always a fun trip. Jody Baylor and the 4th grade math team, they had a food truck project recently. Students had to create a food truck, come up with menu, prices, and budgets, and then the students got to see food trucks in action, and they brought in Kona Ice, Rico's Barbecue, Jervix, and they were able to buy lunch and a treat, so it was really cool to see. Fourth grade also went to the Canton Football Hall of Fame. They taught the children commitment, integrity, courage, respect, and honesty. It was kind of like a combine on their practice fields where there was throwing and agility and catching and running, and then afterwards they got to tour the Hall of Fame, which was really cool because a lot of them never been there before, so it was awesome. Huge shout out to Handel's Ice Cream. Last week we took a couple kids as a reward, and they welcomed us to their establishment, gave us a personal tour, gave us some hats, showed us how the ice cream was made, gave some samples, and it was really a great time, and we are very thankful for that. All in all, this has been a pretty amazing school year. Students got to experience so many different things. Our students are truly blessed to have so many wonderful people in their life, from the cafeteria workers, nurses, custodians, parapros, resource officers, bus drivers, and most important, our teachers. They are very blessed. And that's all I got.
Thank you. And with an elementary school update, Mr. Burney.
All the end-of-year events, I can't say them all, but real quick, just gives you an idea of what happens. The Akron Zoo, Fun Day, the Wild Animal Park, Austintown Township Park, awards assemblies, Falcon 5's graduation, Wax Museum presentations, incoming third grade tours, incoming kindergarten tours, lots of things, obviously. 2 shout-outs to Susan Hogan and Connie Sircone. Susan is a longtime speech and language therapist who's, I almost said graduating, is retiring this year after lots of years of service. And Connie Sircone, for those of you who've been around for a long time, I still remember when Connie was a bus driver at Old AMS. She's, I almost said graduating again, she's going to be retiring this year as well. And probably why I'm saying graduating is I want to compliment Mr. Kelty and everybody at Fitch High School. This is on a personal note. Our youngest of 4 kids graduated this year, and it was an outstanding ceremony. So thank you to everybody.
Certainly. Thanks, Chris. Item 8, Treasurer's consent items. Upon the recommendation of the Treasurer, approve the following items A through C by consent action.
Second.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
Yes.
Mr. Markham?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood?
Yes. Item 9, Superintendent consent items. This is multiple pages. Upon the recommendation of the Superintendent, approve the following items A through N by consent action. So moved.
Second.
Mr. Markham?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
Yes.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mr. Porter? Mr. Sherwood?
Yes. Getting there. Item 10, upon the recommendation of the Superintendent, approve the contractual agreements A through F made by and between the Austintown Local School District and the following as presented.
Second.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
Yes.
Mr. Markham?
Yes.
Mr. Porter? Mr. Sherwood?
Yes. Item 11, resolution, shared service agreement. Approve the resolution following as presented.
So moved. Second.
Mrs. Smrek?
Yes.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mr. Markham?
Yes.
Mr. Porter? Mr. Sherwood?
Yes. Item 12, transportation. Approve the resolution declaring transportation impractical for the following identified students for the 22-23 school year. Second.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mr. Markham?
Yes.
Mr. Porter? Mr. Sherwood?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
Yes.
Item 13, MOU. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approve the following MOU by and between Austintown Local School District, the board, and the Austintown Education Association, OEA-NEA, Whereas the board and the association are parties to a collective bargaining agreement that is in effect from August 29, 21 to August 28, 2024. And whereas the board and the association believe it to be mutually advantageous to temporarily modify the agreement. And now, therefore, the board and the association agree as follows. An insurance committee will be created and used by the board when shopping for health insurance. The board will not begin shopping for new health insurance without the authorization of this committee. This committee will report their findings to both the AEA and OPC unions. Changes to health insurance can only be made when both AEA and OPC unions bring the proposed changes to their memberships for a vote. A majority vote must be given by a combination of both AEA and OPC memberships to adopt new health insurance. The committee will be composed of the superintendent or designee, treasurer, assistant treasurer, AEA president, AEA vice president, 4 AEA members, 1 from each building, AES, AIS, AMS, and Fitch, to be selected by the AEA president, OPC vice president, and 2 OPC members to be selected by the OPC president. The insurance committee must be majority vote in order to pursue changes in health care insurance. This MOU will remain in effect for the 22-23 and the 23-24 school years and be inserted into the next CBA.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Markham?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
Yes.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood?
Yes. Item 14, motion to approve the superintendent's assignment to home retroactive to May 19th, 2023 through June 30th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Markham?
Yes.
Mrs. Smrek?
Yes.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood?
Yes. Motion for our June school board meeting to be on June 28th at 3:30 p.m. in the board office and a 4:30 regular session here at AMS.
So moved.
Second?
Mrs. Smrek?
Yes.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mr. Markham?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood?
Yes. Item 16, any treasurer comments?
No.
Superintendent comments?
No.
I'm going to read a board comment. We're aware that some people in our community understandably have questions about the status of outgoing Superintendent David Capizzello. I can share some information with you tonight with the understanding that because this involves personal matters, I cannot get into details. We must be sensitive to the privacy of those involved. Mr. Capizzello is facing some personal challenges, and we agreed it would be best for him and for our school district if he worked from home for the short time remaining before he retires on June 30. As you're aware, in March, we selected Austintown Schools veteran Timothy Kelty as our next superintendent. Since then, Mr. Kelty has been working hard to ensure an orderly transition, so much so that he is now overseeing the day-to-day operations of our schools. Our schools won't miss a beat with Mr. Kelty in place. I know that this may raise additional questions. I respectfully ask for your forbearance and understanding that this is all we can say about the matter. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Smrek?
Yes.
Mr. Markham?
Yes.
Mrs. Mock?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mr. Sherwood?
Yes.